أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We give thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has spared and strengthened our lives today. We beseech him to shower his blessing and his mercy on his noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companion, and every Muslims that follow the path to the reckoning. And inshallah today we shall be looking at a new topic which has to do with Ramadan and character reformation. Ramadan and the good manners. And if you look at this, Ramadan, as we all know, is a month accompanied with many merits, one of which is Ramadan, Allah revealed the Quran. Ramadan, gate to paradise are open. Ramadan, gate that links to hellfire are shut down. Ramadan, the angels descend. Ramadan has the night of majesty. Ramadan has a lot of merits, that embedded in it. So when we look at Ramadan, with all this aforementioned, what has it to do with our character, our behavior? It has lots to do with our behavior. And that is why Islam as a religion emphasizes more on character reformation. And he used Rasulullah as a yardstick. He said the Quran in Surah Al-Qalam, he said, إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. He said, oh, you Prophet Sallam, you are the best in character. You are the best in manner. This should let us know the fact that Islam prioritizes characters. And if you look at many places in the Quran where Allah is talking about any forms of worship, any forms of human action, religious right, is going to interlink it with character. For example, Inna Alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat, those who believe and engage in righteous deeds. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about salah, He said, Faqimu salata inna salata tanha al-fahsha wal munkar. He said, observe prayer. Verily prayer prohibits evils, prohibits illicit acts, al-fahsha, vulgar behavior. You see, when he's talking about fasting, it also emphasizes character. And one of the character, la'allakum tattaqun, the fear of Allah, is the utmost top-notch character. When you're talking about Hajj, it says anyone that embark on Hajj, wala rafatha wala fusuko wala jidala, it doesn't engage in illicit act, it doesn't abuse, it doesn't argue, it doesn't fight, it doesn't create a lot of crisis during Hajj. One aspect also talk about the zakah. He also emphasized good manner. So everything about our religion revolves around mannerism, good behavior, good character. And Rasulullah said that he said, verily I was sent as a reformer of character to uphold good virtues. And so you as an individual, as a Muslim, most it's very disheartening to know that we are found wanting when it comes to character by excellence. We are found wanting. Then, if we are found wanting, it means forms of worship is questionable. If your salah, your fasting, your zakah, your hajj, your pilgrimage cannot reform you, cannot make you to be an exemplary character, and you cannot use Prophet as your role model to reform your character, it means you should be called to question. Prophet was asked, who is the best of mankind? He said, Hassan. He said the best of mankind are those who are the best in character. The best in character. So therefore, if you look at the Ramadan as a religion, it's also addressing character reformation. That is why when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was talking about fasting, fasting is not narrowed down to not eating and not having sex and not drinking water alone. Fasting cut across every facet of our life. When you fast, your mouth is fasting, your eyes is fasting, your nose is fasting, your leg is fasting, your ear is fasting, your stomach is fasting, the whole limbs of your body are all fasting. So it's not limited to not mere avoiding food alone. So that your fasting will not just be narrowed down to starvation. It will not be narrowed down to starvation. And that is how it begins. It begins with an individual self-reformation. Because fasting is addressing soul development. And when your soul is developed, it's going to, have positive impact on your character. Because fasting as an exercise is a physical exercise, and any metaphysical exercise are those exercises that will reform your character. So as far as Islam is concerned, as Muslims, character is of high paramount consideration and religion. And to look at the fasting as character reformation from individual perspective or general perspective, let's start with, it teaches act of empathy. Empathy, and that has to do with having same feeling for a fellow being. As an individual, if I'm feeling hungry, I don't have food. I have the food, but I can't eat the food. I'm feeling hungry. I'm going to have same feeling for others around me, like the rich, the affluent, and the less privileged. So during fasting, as far as Islam is concerned, both the rich and the less privileged, we're going to be on the same level when it comes to, fasting. So that is why this act of almsgiving and being cheerful, is very rampant during Ramadan, because everyone opens their door for people to come and have their sahur, have their iftar. They feel Muslims because they have the same feeling, and that is the yardstick that Islam has taught you and I, that what you want for yourself, want for your brother. That is empathy. That's what Ramadan has come to teach you and I. Ramadan also taught us what we call discipline. Al-indibat. Discipline in all ramification. You starting from your home, your wife, the wife that is you're legally married with, during Ramadan, you have every access to her. But for the fact that Allah has said, don't have sex during Ramadan, you will not touch her. The food, you have food around you, surplus food, you won't eat it. You have a lot of things to commit yourself to in terms of your high, to watch prank, to watch comedy, to listen to bad music, to eat out with friends. But you restrict yourself. You restrict yourself. Self-discipline. If you can afford doing that during Ramadan, you should be able to do that, beyond Ramadan. Discipline. Nobody is hunting them after you. Nobody watching over you. You are able to curtail yourself. You're able to compose yourself and discipline yourself. Number 3 that Ramadan also taught us. It taught us, a kind of alaqat the Quran. Our relationship with the Quran increases. Though Ramadan is the month of Quran, you see Muslims reading Quran, during Ramadan, as if Ramadan is solely meant for Quran alone. Some people finish Quran 5, 3, 4, but we shouldn't. That is a very good style, but we should try as much as possible to do that in terms of Qira'ah, Hifz, Tafakkur, and Tadabbur. We should read it, recite it, memorize it, and also reflect over it. And that is how what we make it to be impactful in our life. Yes, Muslims read Quran during Ramadan, and this Quran we shouldn't be just for mere reading sake alone. We should be impactful. We should memorize it. We should read the meaning. We should apply in our lives. We should live by it. Because when we're able to do that, we become Quranic generation. And when Quran, that is how the Muslims before us, relate with the Quran, and they become the pioneer of the leadership of the world, because they read the Quran very well. And number 4, learning of the Quran and lessons or character reformation. We also learn from Quran. It also taught us what we call the act of keeping vigil. When you keep vigil, you wake in the midnight, you keep your vigil, and this boils down to having impact in your life. It has a very great impact in your life, and when it has great impact in your life, it becomes a spiritually upright individual, and that take you to the level at which you are reformed. Because in the midnight, you are busy with your God. In the day, Allah will be busy with you, guiding you. He's going to guide you with everything you do. And another thing that Ramadan also taught us, it taught us to be peaceful. To be peaceful. And if you look at it very well, every fasting individual is prone to be calm. You're going to be very calm, because one of the things that make you energetic is when you have, you have enough food in your system. And so as I said that, Shaitan flow in every human blood. It flows in your blood. He said, but the only way you can, banish Shaitan is to engage in fast and starvation. So when you fast, you are at peace with yourself. You are at peace with people around you. That's why I said that when somebody, abuses you, or somebody provoke you, somebody look for your trouble you. He says, say in the saw him, I am fasting. That is to tell you that Islam wants peace and harmony, peaceful coexistence in our society. We don't fight, we don't abuse. That's why if you are the type who abuse, who fight during fasting, your fasting is null and void. It's questionable. It's questionable. So we're talking about Ramadan and character reformation. There are many. One of the reformation in our character, Ramadan has taught us to be timely conscious. To be timely conscious. You see that during Ramadan, we always want to do things in terms of being organized. There are times we wait for our sahur. We are too very conscious not to, be do it behind schedule, and then beyond schedule. We always want to go in line with what time am I supposed to do my sahur, so that my fasting will not be null and void. Your Tarawih has the time. When you want to discontinue your fasting, you also have time. Time for tafsir, time for qiyamul layl. Everything is good with time. You want us to be timely conscious. And this timely consciousness should also be applicable to all our lives in terms of the way we handle our daily life. Today, Muslims, we are not timely conscious. We take time for granted. We abuse time. We lack time management orientation. So we need to, go back to the drawing board and ensure that we key into these lessons Ramadan has taught you and I. Before Ramadan, we know how we treat our salah, we know how we treat our daily life. We are always late to any occasion, always behind schedule. Not to even talk about the one that has to do with the religious obligation. These are things we need to look at as Muslims. And on the large scale benefit of our character, it also talk about this. It taught us what we call the social balance and social engagement. It's one of the character. How do you see yourself as an individual, as a contributor to your society? You see, every one of us want to be part of in a good project. If I come to mosque, I want to feed the cattle so people can take advantage. I want to give somebody a fruit to share with me. I want to engage in this and that. Everybody wants to, take part. And everybody wants to, surpass others. But say, we are all struggling. I don't look at, it's not my job now, it's everybody's job. I want to do it, I want to have the reward. Why only Ramadan? Let's see this beyond Ramadan so that we can have the reward. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this little as an act of worship and add the skill of our deeds and make us part of inmate of paradise and not inmate of hellfire. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.